Hello, my name is Mohammed Ahmed and I am a group member of Group 1. My role in the group was to conduct a high level risk analysis and develop an appropriate response plan from for the risks that was analyzed. And I also had to choose an appropriate performance management tool that covered and analyzed performance based on the project schedule, budget, and quality of work that was being produced. So, scope statement of the project. So, the proposed project is designed to magnify the app's appeal in order to increase the number of downloads. The project aims to achieve this by redesigning and redeveloping the app with a launch timeframe of 6 months. In order to make the necessary changes that were required to increase the number of downloads for the app, this project will form a partnership with a digital product agency that was referred to as the agency. The project will continue to work closely with them in the process of developing and redesigning the new app. Um, so changes that we made will be derived from a survey that will be conducted over 2 months, where potential users of the app will be able to state app preferences in key regions in order to maximize the amount of downloads for the app. So as I said, there will be a survey. There will also be an increased number of languages for the app. So um, language packages for Chinese, Indonesian, Hindi, Vietnamese, French, and Spanish will be developed by the agency. That will and this will be added onto the app, and this is basically in order to increase app accessibility for up to 2 billion people who use smartphones in key regions. There will also be an increase for the promotion for the app in order to draw attention. Promotion ventures such as targeted social media campaigns will be conducted in order to increase the demographic of individuals who are actually aware of the app existing. And this also increases the likelihood of them downloading because if they know it exists, it means that they're more likely to download it. The project will be conducting weekly checkpoints and monthly reports. So pretty much we're going to be making weekly checkpoints and monthly reports that will be required to be delivered between the agency and us during the duration of the project in order to ensure that the project completion stays on track. So assumptions that were made. Before I go there, I'll talk a little bit about the priority matrix. So there are three constraints. So time, cost, and scope. And a project priority matrix, as you guys can see on the screen, was created to pretty much understand what we can enhance and optimize from each constraint and accept. So, for example, I'll just quickly go over it. So, time, we can enhance coding time should be enhanced. User donation page development can be enhanced. We can also accept for the project an extended time for the schedule is accepted to some degree as long as it does not drive up the cost. So project schedule. As you guys can see, there was a project schedule that was created. This is basically created to keep the project in line in order to ensure that the project stays on track. So on February 28th, 2023, the completion and survey data collection process should be done. The on March 31st, 2023, conceptualization of the app based on the survey findings should be completed. On April 1st, 2023, funding model developed and deployed. On May 29th, 2023, fully developed prototype presented for testing. On June 19, 2023, completion of the product testing. And all translated data should be included by now. June 30th, 2023, finalization of the app with all the bugs fixed. And July 1st, 2023, the app will be released to the public in all languages. as well as social media campaigns advertising the app will be launched. So assumptions regarding the schedule. So the agency was assumed pretty much that the agency will not create copies for content from scratch, and pretty much just use existing content sent by us. It is assumed that there is a motivation that is sufficient enough out there in society to recycle, as well in developing in developing and developed nations. And this was pretty much confirmed by a study done in by Halder and Singer in 2018, where a case study was conducted in 2000 in India. It was assumed that young adults will likely share the motivation for the social change and environmental justice with older demographic of people in their mid 20s and over, and this will hopefully increase the amount of compliancy when it comes to the app, and hopefully reduce plastic use. So the project budget. As you guys can see on the screen, this is the project budget that was created for this project. So in constructing the budget, it was assumed that, first of all, that the agency responsible for the project will be handling all aspects of the app's development internally. That is without any third-party support. Due to the nature of the project, there were no real fixed or variable costs, with all the budget of the project going into employee wages. So the budget for the project has been deliberately chosen to exclude variable and indirect costs. So the wage for each employee for the budget is different depending on what their position is and what tasks they will be performing with regards to completing the project. So stakeholders, there are three stakeholders regarding this project. So Plastic Soup Foundation, the agency, and donors. So as you can see, we just created this chart in order to look at stakeholder interests, impact, and potential strategies. So you can see different stakeholders have different level of interest as well as different level of impacts regarding this. So communication between stakeholders. So the Plastic Soup Foundation. So they must be briefed regularly on the budget and cost analysis so that they are able to recognize the constraints of the project. By doing so, there is likely to be no miscommunication with regard to the final product, and there is likely to be more satisfied if they are given a realistic outline of what is possible. So the agency, for the agency, they will need to set up a regular weekly updates for other stakeholders in the form of press release meetings. In the role of press release meetings, as they may lose track of what the brand represents. And this is just so that we're aware that they stay on track. And donors need to, similarly to the Plastic Soap Foundation, will have to have regular update for management on the expectations to ensure that there is a continual flow of donations. So there was also a risk management conducted regarding this project. So as you guys can see, few risks that were there. Number one that we addressed with the language increase of the project was the likelihood of the app being considered non-inclusive. So we've looked at creating extra languages. There were also other risks that were also considered not too high, such as lack of funds, ineffective educational materials, and software issues. Thank you for listening to the project. Hopefully, you guys will be impressed with what I've presented today, and hopefully choose us to be the team that um, you guys use in order to redesign your app. Thank you very much.